Pretty interesting article I came across here from Mint Press News, and again, not something you would see, frankly, probably covered at all in any type of mainstream media outlet. As Venezuela foils CIA terror plot, Pompeo tours its neighbors to talk regime change. The State Department's silence has been deafening following the arrest of a U.S. citizen and former CIA operative allegedly caught plotting and on a Venezuelan oil refinery. It's so fucking disgusting how the U.S. empire treats any of these countries that, are staking out their own vision for themselves, especially if it has anything to do with, socialism or protecting the rights of the people there over multinational corporations, etc. So, Matthew John Heath was arrested with 3 other Venezuelans outside the Amuy and Cardon refineries in Falcon State in the west of the country, reportedly carrying a submachine gun, a grenade launcher, 4 blocks of C4 explosives, a satellite phone, and stacks of U.S. dollars. He has been charged with terrorism and weapons trafficking. The country's Prosecutor General, Tariq William Saab, claimed that Heath entered Venezuela illegally via the Colombian border. Again, Colombia is an ally to the U.S. and their, right-wing kind of dictator president there. Without a passport, all the police found a photocopy hidden on his person. Saab also said that Heath was carrying a small coin or badge that CIA employees used to prove their identity to one another without raising suspicions. Images from the Venezuelan government there. There's do they say it was a rocket or a grenade? A grenade launcher. Obviously, this stuff could have done quite a bit of damage at an oil refinery. The C4 along with that, and even, that machine gun. And I don't know, maybe that was to try to bribe employees there to let them get close to, engage in some type of sabotage. Who knows what. According to police investigations, Heath is a former Marine who served as a communications operator in a secret CIA base in Iraq for 10 years between 2006 and 2016. Let's see. Needs a secret agent begins. Heath's family has a lengthy background in the oil industry. While this suggests that the operation could have been as innocent as a corporate spying mission, it's difficult to see why anyone would possess grenade launchers and C4 if not for seriously nefarious purposes, for sure. And the deafening silence from the corporate media. Very telling that they haven't, commented on this act of terrorism by a U.S. citizen. Trump and Pompeo dancing around the fact that there are obvious incursions organized by the U.S. into Venezuela that are far from peaceful. And again, this isn't the first time that somebody with ties to the U.S. military or the U.S. Intelligence apparatus has been caught. The mainstream media rarely look to verify or follow up any allegations made by the Maduro government and Caracas that the Trump administration is looking to overthrow it, for sure. Yeah, so there was a botched May coup attempt that saw 2 American mercenaries, Ariane Barry and Luke Denman, arrested. The government put out an extremely half-hearted denial, with Pompeo stating only that there was no U.S. government direct involvement, although he did admit he knew who had funded the operation, promising to release the information at appropriate time. And then we obviously have the absolutely brutal economic sanctions, which are a form of economic warfare that have been placed on Venezuela, and tens of thousands, probably over 100,000 Venezuelans have been killed as a result of those. It's disgusting. Pompeo is about to embark on a 4-day trip, which has already happened because this article is from September 18th, to many of Venezuela's closest neighbors in order, in the State Department's own words, to defend democracy and strengthen security against regional threats. Jesus. I mean, it's just disgusting. We need to, defund the military, defund all these super corrupt intelligence agencies, and end the sanctions, engage in, diplomacy, humanitarian aid, partnerships, etc. with countries like Venezuela, Cuba, Iran, etc. It's disgusting. Oh, man. And then you obviously have, the U.S. trying to prop up the self-described president of Venezuela, Juan Guaido, who was more or less this very obscure political figure within Venezuela until the U.S. has tried to, elevate him to try to, organize these coup attempts and get rid of the democratically elected, Maduro government there. It's just, look at that. Freaking grenade launcher, machine guns, whole lots of cash. It's just so funny just how bungled these attempts have been. This one here with this former CIA operative, or probably current one, honestly, and then that one in May with those former, I think it was Armor Rangers or Green Berets. Let's see, what was it? Yeah, American Mercenaries. Doesn't say there, but a little sleepy. But all solidarity to the people in Venezuela as they, endure this form of economic warfare that the U.S. empire is waging against them with these war crimes, these sanctions that are war crimes because they disproportionately target and, affect and harm the civilian population, because the U.S., like they are making the calculation in Iran, if they make the conditions so bad that people want to, turn on the Maduro regime, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Another example of something that makes me ashamed to be a U.S. citizen, frankly. So yeah, all solidarity with the people in Venezuela and all over the world who are facing down these threats and these forms of warfare, whether it be economic or otherwise, by the U.S. empire. All power to the people. Peace. Much love.